Hello College Algebra student, this video is for chapter 5.1 part 2. We'll learn how to graph quadratic function, as well as if someone gives you a graph, kind of write the equation out. So how to graph a quadratic function, it depends on the form. If someone gives you the vertex form, you write the vertex. If someone gives you the general form, you write the vertex also. So either negative b over 2a or just read off hk. So that's the first one. And then you draw the axis of symmetry. Then you only have one point, right? So you would have to find another point. This another point could be the y-intercept, could be any point that you want to calculate next to the vertex, and then have the third point we flag over the axis of symmetry. That means, like, say for example, I have this point, I have axis of symmetry, and then you find another point and this point, and then you can graph, right? You just find them. And if you have x-intercept, you also find the x-intercept by setting y equal to 0. Now, to solve the x-intercept, you use either factoring or quadratic formula. So that's in the last video I did not mention about x-intercept, but if you graph it accurately, it's nice to know the x-intercept. Now, if you cannot solve it, like if in case when you're solving it, you get a complex answer, then you don't have x-intercept. So let's do an example, two examples. So I have f of x equal to negative 3, x minus 2 squared minus 3. Do you see that this looks like a vertex form? So a x minus h squared, right, plus k, they're always in this form vertex. So I know the vertex right away. The vertex is what? 2, because 2 is h, right? 2 comma k is negative 3, so whatever that shows up outside, you can think of it right 2, down 3. So that's why the vertex now is 2, negative 3. Axis of symmetry is at x equal to 2 because it is a vertical line that cuts through this. So I'm going to do a sketch here. So I will say 1, 2, and then down 3. 1, 2, 3. So this is my vertex. And then I would do a axis of symmetry go through it. So it would be, is it an up or down? A is negative, so it's supposed to be down like that, right? So I need one more point. So what point should I get? I cannot just, should I go this way, that way, or like skinny or what? I don't know. If it's negative, if it is 3, it should be skinny one, right? But I need to find another point. So the best point to find is to find the y-intercept because they always exist. The y-intercept is you set x equal to 0, right? Set x equal to 0. So you would say y is equal to negative 3 times 0 minus 2 is just negative 2 squared minus 3. So that would be negative 3 times 4 minus 3. Wow, that is negative 15. Negative 12 minus 3 is negative 15. So it is really down here, down 3 and then negative 15. But it is 2 away from it, right? So you would say like that, 1 point, and then another one here, also 3 away, no, 2 away from it. This is 2, right? 2, negative 3. So you can graph 2 points like that. So one y-intercept, the other one, the symmetrical we flag over here. And you can graph it. And you can clearly see that there is no x-intercept, right? So intercept is none. After you graph it, you can see that there's none. If there is one, then you solve for it by square root or quadratic formula. What's a domain? Domain is always all real number because any x can do. Range is from the highest point, the maximum point. Maximum y is negative 3 all the way down to negative infinity. So you would say is highest point is negative 3, or actually square, and up to infinity for range. Oh, I should say range here. The second one is a parabola that is in general form. Ax squared, a is 1, b is 4, c is 2. So vertex is, you have to do it, right? The vertex would be hk, where you have to calculate it. H is negative b, negative 4, over 2 times 1. So it's -2. K is, you put it back, -2 squared plus 4 times -2 plus 2. So 4 minus 8 plus 2, -4 plus 2 is -2. So it is -2, -2. Right. So I will sketch it. -2. Oh, this side actually. 1, 2, -2, and also -2. So this is the point, and the axis of symmetry would be x is equal to -2 because the coordinate is, let's say v is -2, -2. So like that. So now A is 1, so I know that it has to be up, right? So I need another point, so which is the Y-intercept. Y-intercept is useful because it's really easy to do. You just plug in x is equal to 0. So y is equal to 0 plus 2. So that means this graph cut the y-axis at 2. So 1, 2. So I have 1 point here. This is the axis of symmetry. I would have 2 more and another point here. So I can graph. Okay, so that's roughly what you do. If your y-intercept is like very big, it cannot be graphed. You can find another point, like plug in x equal to 1 and then just solve another point and reflect it. So you need 3 points. The next is x-intercept. Now in this case, I do have x-intercept. So I'm going to solve x-intercept by setting y equal to 0. So x squared plus 4x plus 2. 0 equal to x squared plus 4x plus 2 for the x-intercept, right? So this is not factorable. So I am going to use quadratic formula. X is equal to -4 plus or minus b squared is what? 16 minus 4 times 1 times 2 all over 2. So that would be -4 plus or minus square root 16 minus 8 is 8 over 2. This is simplifiable, but if I just want to know, so you can simplify as -2 plus square root 2, because this is 2 root 2, like that. The 2 will cancel, so you factor the 2 out, and then it would cancel. 2 times 2, so this cancels, so it is -2 plus or minus square root 2. You can actually find the actual value or use a calculator to find the approximate value. Domain is all real number. Range is, do I have a maximum or minimum? I have a minimum point. So the minimum is, vertex is -2, -2. So the minimum is -2. So everything is higher than -2. So you would say from -2 to infinity, like that. So that's domain and range. The next thing is to find equation of a quadratic function. That means someone give you a graph, you write the equation back. Okay. So the idea, the 3-step process is, again, find vertex, because you can use it to write a vertex form. Find one more point to solve for A, and that's it. So you find 2 points. One vertex, the other is any other point. Sometimes the y-intercept. If not, just anything that has, this is on the grid. So let's do an example. I have a parabola like this, but what is the formula? So you do the vertex first. Vertex, you read it off as -1 up 3. -1 up 3. One more point. This one is a good point, right? 0, 1. It is actually the y-intercept. If you have vertex and 1 point, you can solve it. So then you would say, well, my formula is actually y equal to a, x minus -1 is +1 square plus k plus 3. And then I plug in 0, 1 into it to solve for a. 1 is equal to a 0 plus 1 square plus 3. So the first step is use this, plug in HK, and then plug in the point. So the only thing that is unknown is A. So you have 1 equal to A, 0 plus A is A plus 3. So A equal to -2 minus 3, A equal to -2. 1 minus 3 is -2. So then you would have, you solve everything. You would say the equation is y equal to -2a, right? X plus 1 square plus 3. One vertex, one point. Put in the vertex first. Put in the point to solve for a and put it back. Okay. And then we go to the next page, which is application. So I'm going to record it in the next video.